Welcome to Empowered Within, a soul-quenching, transformational podcast that will set your soul on fire through candid and inspiring conversations. Leading experts, celebrities, healers, and I share our journeys of how we've overcome challenges to living an empowered life from within. I'm your host, Jennifer Pilates. Welcome to another episode of Empowered Within. Hi there, and welcome to the show. I am so excited to have with us today's guest, Kay Miller. Kay is a rapid reprogramming coach and intuitive business guide for female entrepreneurs transitioning from a traditional job environment into owning their profitable, soul-led business. Kay's mission is to help women feel aligned and confident getting paid to share their authentic gifts with the world. Kay teaches new entrepreneurs how to reprogram subconscious beliefs that cause women to doubt themselves as business owners and block any money flow. She helps women leave their old lives behind to create an income and impact by doing what they love on their own terms. Welcome to the show, Kay.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here.
So happy to have you. And so I want to talk to you about how and what led you to your soul-led business. Because that's very different going from a traditional job environment into a soul-led business and being able to help others. So what got you here?
Great question. So I was a teacher for 14 years before this. I knew, so my daughter was 3 at the time, and I was working 3 jobs, and I never got to spend any time with my family. When I did, I was not present. I was not the person that I wanted to be for my family. And I knew that something had to change. And I quit teaching actually the year that COVID hit. And I kind of tell a story that God just really spoke to me and said, now is the time to shift. And I think that I really took that shift early so that I can help people who really see a trend post-COVID of people really waking up to the fact that things need to be different. Things need to feel different. It doesn't have to feel hard. It doesn't have to feel just like we're living that rat race every single day. So yeah, I think that's it. And I started out as a health coach. And as I grew spiritually and personally in that journey, my coaching business just kind of transformed with me, which is really cool. So that's how it all started.
That is so fascinating. Now, you bring Akashic Records into your business. Yeah. What got you started with that?
Okay. What did get me started with that? So again, as the spiritual journey really as an entrepreneur, we are also on a spiritual journey. I think many of us, yes, like your business is really a part of you. And as you grow, the business grows. I've always been a very just deeply spiritual led person anyway, even since I was a child. And for whatever reason, I feel like the Akashic Records just kind of spoke to me. I never even had a reading before. And I just kept hearing this, this knowing, this wisdom within me of this is your next step. And so when an opportunity to learn about doing Akashic readings, both for myself and for clients, kind of landed in my email inbox, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is the next step. And so that's where it started. And it's been a really beautiful and beneficial thing. I've realized this is my sweet spot. This is where I really thrive and enjoy, because it not only benefits the clients and they get a better session, they get a better reading, they get clarity, they get assurance, they really feel, I think, the love that their guides have for them through these readings. And it lifts me up as well. And it just feels really good on both ends.
Oh my gosh, I love hearing that. So tell me, what, if you can look back, what are maybe the top piece or maybe the top few pieces that when you opened up your Akashic Records, what was that aha, oh my gosh moment for you?
Okay. So it's hard to land on several different things. There was just one thing that is really jumping out at me. And it was actually in my training that I did, where I kind of embodied this is real. You are really doing this, and it's a beautiful, benevolent thing. Okay. So in the training, we're doing readings for other people within the training, I should say. And for this one woman, the question was, where is this passed on loved one? What may I know? What can I know about this loved one, this dear friend of mine who has passed on? And what I was able to see was that she had like returned to, she was included in this beautiful blue mist that is, I mean, you just imagine as vast as the ocean, but it was a mist. And then also that there were like 5 or 6, like a hall of doors, and that she had walked through the next door. And that's what I was able to tell my partner, was that she is returned to the source, right? Return to our creator source, return to the mist where we are one. And also she has walked through the door to her next opportunity. And it just still feels so incredible, I mean, I've never thought of or known God in that way, in that element, and to actually see that and to be able to express that to somebody was truly incredible. So that is kind of my most memorable thing of, whew, like this is real and very, very special.
It sounds very special. For those who may not quite understand the difference between bringing in intuitive readings, intuitive guidance into your business versus opening up the Akashic records and having Akashic healing, what would you tell that person? How would you describe the differences?
Okay. Yes. So the Akashic Records, we are actually saying a prayer to open up your Akashic Records, speak to your specific guides. I do believe that we have both our spiritual guides, we have our Akashic Records guides, and then we also have our business guides if your business is soul-led, if it's a part of you on a soul level. So we essentially, I do a preparation where energetically I sit around a table of light with my higher self, the client's higher self, and all of the guides, ascended masters, angels, whoever wants to come in and work with us. And that's what we do. And so then from there, the client offers questions, anything that, that they're struggling with, that they want clarity on, wherever they are. They ask their questions one at a time, and the guidance just kind of comes in, and it's really just channeled through me. And I try to give as much of that clarity as well as the emotion that is coming through, so that they can really feel that and help them to embody it. There's also an ability for healing in that as well. The Akashic Records are able to offer, let's say, for example, if you have any trauma, soul trauma, past life trauma, whatever it is that is inhibiting you from performing a task that is going to make this life easier for you, that is going to make, whether it's being an entrepreneur or being a good mom, like whatever it is that is you're having resistance and struggling with, healing can be offered there as well. So these are really, really beneficial. So then the intuitive is essentially sitting with, I think all coaches really are intuitive, especially the ones who are empathetic and just really want to be there to serve the client. I think we are all able to offer just intuitive advice that comes with where you are, helping you to identify where you are, what you're struggling with, where your resistance is, and how we get out of it. How do we help you move on and take aligned action?
That's What if it was possible to have local, fresh groceries delivered right to your door? Think of all the free time you'd have. Well, Instacart gives unlimited grocery delivery for one low monthly fee. Forgot that special ingredient in your favorite dish? Instacart can deliver it to your front door in as fast as 1 hour. You can shop multiple stores, see deals in your area, and save time and money. I've been using Instacart for over 3 years. I started using them in Arizona, and I'm using them here in Florida. I love the time-saving convenience. They pick the freshest products, and they keep my eggs safe too. To receive your first delivery free, follow the link in the show notes so that Instacart knows that we sent you and to help support the show. Instacart, never step foot in a grocery store again. It's amazing. Now you actually take things one step further, and you talk about everyone sometimes needs a mental reset. And within that, you talk about rapid reprogramming. with the Akashic Records. Tell me how you take that deep dive. What does that look like when you're working with a client?
Okay. So rapid reprogramming is a brain training technique. And so we identify what are these thoughts that are on a loop in your mind, because you and I both know, and I'm sure many of your listeners know, whatever is happening in your subconscious mind, that is what's creating your reality. These are the beliefs, what I like to call rules, that are creating your reality every single day. It's what you bring in. So we can work to change that. We can use rapid reprogramming to shift your beliefs. This is why sometimes affirmations, like, they kind of feel good, right? They feel good in your body when you say them. They don't always work because you have to shift the subconscious belief before the affirmation can become true for you. And so that is where that happens in those rapid reprogramming sessions. We work on identifying what is the actual thought, and then I take them through the process to change it.
That's fabulous. And so is this like a conversation like you and I are having? Is this hypnosis? How does all that work?
Yeah. So in order to get into the subconscious mind, there are a couple of necessary things, like pen to paper is really important to access subconscious mind. That's why journaling is really good and important. But for this, yes, it is not hypnosis, but we do need to get the mind into a relaxed state. So I take them through a breathing exercise first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds fascinating.
Mhm.
How did you, from where you started, designing your soul-led business through everything that you've been through being a teacher and all the experiences and the learning that you've come through, how did you couple rapid reprogramming? What brought you to that aspect to bring that into your business to help other entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So I mentioned before, having started out as a health coach and things just kind of shifting as I was growing. Well, as I was shedding those layers within my business to be more authentic, to show up like more authentically and with my true purpose, it became a lot harder to be visible. And it became a lot harder to really believe in myself. And that's where I knew that I had to find something that could help me to shift those beliefs so that I could be visible, so that I could feel safe being seen as me, as this spiritual person. So that's kind of where rapid reprogramming came in. I knew I got to have something to help. And when it did, it really opened a lot of doors and made this life more possible on a whole new level. And that's why I love bringing it into my work and showing it to others.
I agree with you. I think when we can work with the subconscious and get to the root cause
Mhm.
of whatever limiting belief it is, whatever stumbling block that's there, it's just a game changer and it changes so much in the world. And for those out there, I feel like there's so many people. We talked about this a smidge before we jumped on air together. This is a time of transition. You can't deny it. This is a time where I feel like people are ready to rip off a layer, rebrand, redo. What
Yeah.
advice do you give to those female entrepreneurs who are going through something like you, who maybe are transitioning from a health coach to more of a spiritual coach? Or what advice do you give for those first few steps for them to feel confident?
Follow your heart always. Your heart or soul led you to this next level and it will continue leading you. So always, if I leave a legacy, I hope it is that we can let the voice of the heart and the wisdom in the heart be louder and stronger than the voice that is in the mind. So following the heart, believing in yourself, whatever you can do to believe in yourself, your gifts, and that you would not have them if you weren't meant to be using them for service in this world. So lean into that and just continue to let it evolve. It is a journey, and sometimes it's going to be hard. I mean, I think that as spiritual entrepreneurs, like, the dark night of the soul that we continue to have over and over again for those increased layers, it doesn't stop with one. And when you are also a soul-led business owner, it affects you there too. So just keep going. Don't ever let it get you down. It's one day, it's one moment, and then you will expand into more.
That's excellent advice. And then I wanted to like dive a little bit deeper. And so for those that are transitioning and they have these incredible gifts and they're so owning and empowering themselves within whom they are as a spiritual person. And then they're like, well, how do I get seen, right? Because there's this aspect of being so amazing within what you have as your gifts. And then there's a business side. And I feel that tends to lack, that tends to fall because that creativity, wanting to share your gifts, it's always there. And I see this time and time again with clients. And then it's like when you get to the business side, they're like, I don't know. Social media, I don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't, website, I don't. How do you help your clients through that?
Yeah, that's a really good one. So, first step for me and my work with my clients is the Akashic reading. That is the first place we go for clarity on what is going to be the best next step for you, the one that is most aligned to where your strengths are and what you need to be doing in order to be seen. What is that? Is it Instagram? Is it working on this website? Is it networking in person? What does it look like for them? So really just clarifying that within the records. And then from there, we are usually able to, like, 90% of the time, we also get a download of a self-care plan for this person, whatever it is that they're struggling with in their life, how they're not taking care of themselves mentally, spiritually, or physically. It shows up in these readings, and they give us plans of like, okay, you're not doing this because, and here's what you need to do for it. And so that's kind of that's always the first step. And it does take time. We see people get really famous overnight, or start made $1 million this year, whatever. We didn't see the work that went in before all this happened. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't expect it to happen you can't put that pressure on yourself, right? Let it take the time. And one of my coaches recently had said, whenever she decided and said, you know what, I'm okay with letting this take the time that it needs, it will happen when it's supposed to. And once she did that, she got out of the way and bam, it happened. That's what it is.
I love that leaning in. It's the leaning in and letting go all at the same time, which can feel so scary and yet so liberating at the same time.
Yes.
So amazing. Sure. So when you also are helping your women entrepreneurs on this, because I do feel that there are so many incredible entrepreneurs out there, and I know that you work with them and I work with them, but there are the stumbling blocks of that, like you're saying, the behind the scenes, it's the stuff that is the black and white when you want to be colorful, and it's down to the pricing of their programs. And is it going to be a 1 day? Is it going to be a 3 day? Is it going to be 6 months, 12 months? But how do you help people to say, okay, here's really based on who you are and what you do, here's that offer, run with it. And here's the steps. How do you help people with that?
I like to dissect, take out, what are they thinking? What is going to be most aligned for them? Because if they think that they should run this 6-month program, but really they don't want to show up for 6 months. They don't want to, they don't have the energy to hold a container for 6 months for other people. Well, then we don't need to do 6 months, right? So we take out the should. What is it that feels like you should? And that's where that rapid reprogramming comes in. Anytime that you hear a should, there's a belief there somewhere that we need to look at. So we look at those things, and really I kind of stray away from giving my clients not necessarily strategy. We do talk about strategy, but is in this, and this. I like to let it essentially come from them. What is it that you're telling me is most aligned for you? Okay, now what is it that is in the way of you doing that thing? That's what we work on. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. And I think that's helpful. And I wanted to sort of bring it from the place of almost like ego human being, so that you could come back and bring it into the spirit. And so that people could understand, because and we have those lives, and we do have to live a spirit life and a human life. And if you go too far to one or the other, you burn out and things aren't as flowy and magical, so to speak, as they should be. And I sort of, that was great the way that you did that. And I wanted to show that how you can mesh together, which brings me to when we're dealing with business, you're helping clients, what do you feel is most important when it comes to the business? Is it the strategy side? Is it the mindset side? Which can coincide with spiritual side. I kind of put those two together.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, both are, I feel like I'm hesitant to say both are equally important. I would definitely lean more towards the mindset, because if you could have, we spend so much money on coaches and programs and courses and all these things to teach us. And then if you don't have the mindset shifts, right? If we're still working from a working class, it is safe to be an employee and have a paycheck mindset, nothing is going to ever work for you. You have to take the leap with your mind that you took with your career, right? And so for that, and yeah, absolutely. Mindset and spirituality come first. The strategy is so important because you've got to have clarity. You've got to have clear step by step by step. Otherwise, you're stuck in overwhelm and you are following the leadership of all the gurus online who are telling you what to do. And it's great, right? We need that advice. But if you're not grounded in your path, then you're going to be trying 100 different things and never sticking with the one thing that can help you take you to the place that you want to be.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you 100% on that. And I love that you brought in all the gurus and all the things that are out there, because you and I both know right now people are saying you should be doing the courses, you should be doing this, everything should be on autopilot. And for some people, it may not resonate for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And to that person, what do you say? Because here you have someone of authority who are saying, okay, in order to succeed in how life is going, it really, again, the should look like blah, 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 blah. What do you say to that person who goes, but none of that resonates with me?
Then leave it. Take it with a grain of salt and leave it. Just because it works for some doesn't mean it works for others. And that's why there are so many of us out there that have so many different qualities, different strengths, different gifts, because they are, we are meant to speak to different people. And so find the one that works for you. Leave it and leave out the should.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. You get to make your own rules. You get to make your own path. If someone says they don't love social media and they don't want to do it, there are ways around it. You can work through in-person networking. You can also have somebody else take over your social media so that you get to spend more time doing the things that you love, like meeting people in person, and have somebody else do the thing that you hate. There are ways around everything.
Right.
You have to find what works for you.
Right. I love that. Just to be able to lean into that. That is it's so crucial. And when you're working with people and they originally come to you in your session, do you feel that is there a portion that, or maybe it's a collaborative collective of you showing up as Kay, the traditional coach, Kay, the intuitive, if you call yourself an intuitive, Kay, the magical fairy godmother who's showing up for you? How would you, to put it all together for someone to really understand that beautiful package that you are as a human? Because I think it's so important. People for so long have been put in a box and here's your title and there you go. And I'm the first person to say, I've got like 20 things. I don't do all 20 things at the same time, but I'm not a box girl.
Yeah.
Sorry, not going to happen here. And I feel with the energy that you have, the light and the expertise that you have, you too are not a box girl. So how do you bring yourself to someone?
Yeah, it's a great question. I love it. I love the whole, yes, we're not box girls. I show up, so for my private clients and within that container, showing up with where they are that day. I am me, and I have these different things to pull from, and we are going to find out where you are on that day and what you need. And we can access the records, or we can access the rapid reprogramming, or, and I feel like even as a health coach, it was always some intuitive, and yeah, definitely intuitive channeling in terms of helping others in that. So yeah, I think that when the program starts, we always start with an Akashic reading. We want the clarity. We need the clarity. We need to find out exactly what that path looks like and where does it need to go. And then from there, we discover what resistance is in the way. And then from there, it's, do we work on this resistance with rapid reprogramming? Do we work on setting up your goals for November? Do we work on opening the records to ask this question and get more deeper soul level healing? What is it? So they have access to me wherever they are, whatever they need that day.
Yeah, that's fabulous. I love the deep dive. And something else that you speak of and that you're really great at, I feel, with helping women when it comes to the blocks, and particularly spiritual women, there's this block of, well, how do I charge for my services? And I know you've heard it from clients. I've heard it from clients. And I'm sure at some point you've had your own struggles. I would love you to share, how do you get to where you are to one, and I don't think it's necessarily that people have trouble charging, it's knowing what they should charge and to have that align and to feel empowered within them. And then, of course, that always goes back to mindset and limiting beliefs and such. So how do you work with all of that?
Okay, this is a good one. So for myself personally, I opened my own business records and kind of jot down, journal, or like, channel write some ideas of what does this look like? What does this program look like? How am I serving? And what kind of price tag is aligned here? And then also using the gift of our body, right? You can sit with that. How does it feel in your body? Is it too low? Is it too high? Does it feel exciting, but also kind of, ooh, right? That's probably a yes. That's a stretch. That's a yes stretch. So start backing up, a little bit lower than that yes stretch, and then working your way up. Yes. There is also, we have to work on the beliefs within the self-worth. There's the self-worth piece. And then there's also we've always been paid by an employer, right? So if you're coming from the 9-to-5 traditional work environment, you're always being paid for a job description. And this is completely different. So you really have to reframe your mindset around being able to be paid for that and what it looks like. So those are all pieces that come into play. But I will say, just in terms of like pricing, it really helps to journal things out and sit with it. Does it feel exciting? Does it feel resistant? Does it feel like absolutely not? I cannot charge that. And then look at why. What are the beliefs there? What are the reasons why? And then that's what you work on.
I love that. Oh my gosh, this sounds like so much. It's so much fun, and I think it's just such another great way to deep dive into yourself, because, over the years people would say, and especially back in the day, have you had, there's how many personality tests can you take? So many. You can look at, 12 different astrologers can look at your birth chart. You can talk to a million different psychics and intuitives and tarot card readers and oracle readers and even Akashic Records. I think that they're all so different.
Absolutely.
And it's important to find someone that you truly align with and pull from there. Because it goes back to, just like all of the gurus that are out there in the world that are going to tell you how to do X, Y, and Z within your business and what you should be doing and standing on your head on TikTok and Instagram. There's going to be all of that on the spiritual side too. And for that person out there who may be like, oh my gosh, I'm so caught up in the tornado of both worlds. What advice do you give to that female entrepreneur?
So for the overwhelm of both worlds, the business and the spiritual, all the things, or is it the listening to all the gurus?
Listening to all the gurus on both sides, and where do you stop and where do you start?
Yeah. Turn off the noise and just listen to yourself. Listen to within. You've got to turn it all off, because that will make you spin out. And it is very, very overwhelming. And you end up comparing yourself so much, right? Comparing so much of, oh, I'm not doing what I should be doing, or I'm behind, Or, I mean, and if you've done group programs with other people, other masterminds, right? You might look at other mastermind sisters and say, oh, I'm so far behind than she is, or I took this time off because I was sick and now whatever it is, stop. It is your path, it is your journey, and you are the creator of that every single day. That's another reminder that gets thrown into my Akashic readings a lot, is the reminder of this is your choice. You have free will. We are giving you insight, but you always have the choice, and it is always in your best time. So stay in your lane, turn off the noise, and listen to yourself.
I think that is great advice and so important. Again, especially right now, because there's so much out there. I always say, I can remember when I first got into the internet world, I kind of bucked it for a while, and I could see a actual decline in my business.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't, it was actually taking away from all the time and effort that I used to put into my business, into what worked for me, which was the basics. And I think that when people can get back to what works for you, what feels good from you, lean into that and expand from there and see where it takes you. And it sounds like with how you work and the gifts that you have, it can even take you to that next deep level to really shine the light on those steps to help someone through their process.
Both personally and work-wise. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got this question for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. When you think back over your life, if there was one day that you could go back and relive, not changing a thing, just to have that opportunity to relive it, what day would that be and why?
Absolutely, 100%. The day that I told my principal, I had a student teacher in my classroom at the time, and I knew that it was time. And I went to my principal and I said, I love my job. I love my kids. I love my coworkers, and I love this school, but I cannot come back next year. I won't be back in August. I'm going to finish out the year, and that's it. And it threw my whole world upside down. Without going into it, my husband was well aware of how much pain I was in going to work every week, and how much I wanted things to shift. But I'm a people pleaser, right? I was at this time. I was a huge people pleaser. And so to be able to have the courage to walk in and say, this isn't working for me anymore, it was huge, absolutely huge. And yeah, that was it. I don't know. I think the stars were just aligned for me to have that kind of courage that day. And my entire life has changed in so many beautiful ways ever since.
That sounds amazing. Congratulations. And I know that there's going to be someone out there go, well, wait, did she do that and have a plan, or was there no plan and she just leaned in and was like, I'm out?
Yeah.
So, no plan. It was just you were guided that day to do it. You did it. You went home and you were like, honey, don't quit your job.
Yeah. Yeah. He was not real happy with me for a while, but we're good. We're good. Yeah, no plan. I did know that the thing that I loved most about teaching was the one-on-one with the kids, the relationships. And so I knew I was going to be a coach. I just didn't know what kind. So I had some feels of where I was going, but yeah, no real plan. No, like I've saved 20,000, I've saved this much month's salary. Nope, just jumped.
I love that. And I think that is so important that you shared that, because I just feel this essence of people listening, feeling liberated to go, I need to just lean in. If not today, when? And I think that's so important for people to know, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're not even guaranteed the next minute. So if not now, when?
Right.
Oh my gosh. Kay, this has been amazing. Oh my gosh. Amazing. I love this. Will you share with our amazing community, where can they best get in contact with you?
Yes. So just go to my website, kmillercoach.com. I'm also on Instagram at kmiller.coach if you want to look me up. But yeah, there you can have a free meditation library, and some other nice things. Or if you want to dive right in and get your Akashic reading, you can sign up for that on the site.
That's fabulous. I'm so excited. And all of Kay's information will be over in the show notes at empoweredwithinbodymindspirit.com. So you can head over there. All of her links will be there. You can get your reading. Let us know how it goes. We want to hear from everybody on this. This is so amazing. As we close out the show today, is there one last piece of inspiration and or advice that you'd like to leave with us?
Follow your heart. Absolutely. Just follow the heart. If you are hearing the nudge, if you're hearing the wisdom that something isn't right in your life, listen. It doesn't mean you have to act on it today. It doesn't mean you have to act on it tomorrow, but listen. Let the voice of the heart be stronger and more empowering than the voice in the mind that says you can't.
Amen.
Yeah.
That is a very weighted piece.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
You are
Thank
so
you
welcome.
so much. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Kay, this has been just amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your energies, your time, our fun glitches with Zoom. I so appreciate you. And I just appreciate your heart and your energies. And I appreciate everything that you're doing for our amazing world.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's been wonderful.
You are so welcome. Well, as we say, until next time, may you live an empowered life from within. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Empowered Within with Jennifer Pilates. Your feedback is important. It helps me to connect with you and gives me insight into who you are and what you're enjoying about the show. For today's show notes and discount codes from today's sponsors, head over to jenniferpilates.com. Until next time, may you live an empowered life from within. Hey there, wellness lovers. Are you ready to transform your fitness journey? Dive into my on-demand Pilates fusion workouts and meditations. Imagine blending the best of Pilates, yoga, and mindful meditation all at your fingertips. Get strong, flexible, and zen anytime, anywhere, 24/7. Head over to jenniferpilates.com for your special exclusive subscription discount. Don't miss out on this ultimate fusion experience. Elevate your body, your mind, and your spirit today. Let's move and meditate together. Hey, beautiful souls. Are you ready to elevate your health and wellness journey? Join my Empowered Within Holistic Health and Wellness private community on Facebook. Imagine having a supportive tribe where you can connect, share, and grow together. Receive exclusive access to holistic health tips, empowering workshops, all designed to help you thrive. Head over to jenniferpilates.com to join our Empowered Within Holistic Health and Wellness community today. Don't miss out on this transformational experience. Empower your mind, body, and spirit today. Let's embark on this journey together. Head over to jenniferpilates.com to join our Empowered Within Holistic Health and Wellness community today. I'll see you there.